Hello. Hi. Oh my gosh.
Nice
I'm Tyler.
to meet you, Tiffany.
Great to meet you, Tiffany.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
My name is Tiffany Haddish. Tyler might know me from stand-up comedy and a TV show called The Carmichaels on NBC and a movie called Keanu with Key and Peele.
Thank you for having me.
Well, yes,
I love your house.
Thank you. Thank you. This is my home.
It's amazing.
We are at the world famous Laugh Factory Comedy Club, and to me, this is my home away from home. Like, this is my safe place. I perform here all the time. I grew up in here. Well, I've been watching Tyler for a while now, and I think what he's doing is really positive and very helpful to people, and especially people that need help. And I mean, I could definitely use some help.
All these people coming through, I'm like,
It's a lot of people. Like, oh, I got some strong communicators.
there's some strong
in my-
communicators coming
Yeah,
through.
y'all stand down for a second. Stand down, okay?
Okay, gotta give the speech. Gotta give the speech. Do you have any objects?
I do have an object.
Okay, so I might hold on to that.
There you go.
Great. Okay, I'm just gonna scribble and we'll see who's wanting to talk.
This is a ring that's very special to me because it belonged to someone that I love dearly. It would mean a lot to me today to get to know that she's good. It would mean the world to me.
Okay, I just have to quickly mention the woman who's referencing to the lungs. She's immediately having me talk about this, and this is a big thing. This isn't sudden or quick or fast like a heart attack. This is a chronic lung problem this woman had, and she's having me reference to the fact that she wanted to be known she was not suffering and was not in any pain in the moment that she passed. But she said she went through a hell of a lot in her life because I feel like passing away would almost be a relief from what I'm having to go through. And there's a feeling of like, I'm free of this. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Would you know who that would be?
My cousin Melita,
All right.
who passed away at like 32. We were all under the impression that she had like a heart issue, but she was always having like liquid on her lungs, and they were always draining her lungs. And she always had like a hard life, I think, because she just always felt like everybody was against her. And I used to be like, think positive, be positive. Like, but she never really listened to me on that note.
And when she comes through, I think that just the fact that she connects shows that regardless of what she dealt with in life, she still comes through and the love is there and it's clear because that's why she connects. So,
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's, if anything, like a relief to know.
Yeah, definitely.
And whose ring was this? I'm curious.
Oh, that was my cousin Melita's ring.
Wow.
I just feel like there was more to be said, more to do, more life to live, you know? When he talked about how she was like suffering, it was a relief for her to pass. That meant a lot to me. And I miss her.
Don't know what this is. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I have to talk about this dynamic. There's a father figure that ultimately leaves the family and then ultimately makes a reconnection either when the children are grown up. Do you know if anyone has any Philadelphia connections?
Not that I know of.
Okay, no worries. Do you know much about your dad's side of the family?
No.
Okay.
I just know a little bit. Oh, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah.
Well, he was in Philly for a little bit when I found him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, like, my whole point to meet my father was just to know, like, genetically, what do I have to expect?
Sure.
You know, and where the hell your ass been? Where your ass was at when I was out here living in the streets?
Yep.
You know, and, yeah.
The feeling is of basically a father figure missing out at some of the more developmental stages in life, and then ultimately kind of coming around once people have already been raised. The reason why this comes through is that man's father comes through on the other side and is making a connection to you and talking about basically what would be his son's actions or inactions. This man is coming through and basically acknowledging, I'm sorry that my son wasn't able to be the dad that he could have been. And the reason this comes through is there's a feeling of knowing that that relationship is only what it is to the extent that it is. You can only do so much. And the way this comes across is a feeling of even though there is this reestablished thing, I do not see the relationship necessarily getting super strong, super close, or super connected. Does that make sense to your knowledge?
Yes. I reconnected with my dad when I was like 27. I offered to like let him come stay with me and let me take care of him, and then he like disappeared again. And so now he like reappeared, and he says he wants to come stay with me now, and there's a part of me that's like, well, you kind of missed that boat.
Right, and it seems that with everything that's coming through, it seems to kind of indicate from presumably his dad, who's past coming through. The acknowledgement is basically know what you're responsible for, know what you're not, and you're not responsible for him.
Right.
And there's an acknowledgement of you have permission to not feel like you have to be, you know, super close. Don't feel like you had to be super close with the timing. And you have
That's what I want to tell him so bad.
For sure.
I'm gonna let him watch the show.
Yeah, well, that works. That works.
Right.
So please know that that message is coming through from both grandfather and then like a grandmother figure.
Tell him I said thank you, and I never got to meet them, but thank you.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Yes, you were awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You're the best.
Oh.
Give me that. This was like a weird family reunion with a white mediator. It was.
If you ever have any other questions, I'm always here.
Oh, well, I will be calling. You know, I've been pretty much by myself my whole life. And so I feel alone a lot of the time. And like, I'm just doing this on my own. And for those people to come through, it's like, wow, I haven't been on my own all this time.
So you were telling me that some movie star was twittering about you?
Twittering.
Well, it was on Twitter.
Tweeting, and it was Bella Thorne.
That's amazing. So then that means all her friends will see what she put about you.
Right.
She probably has like a few thousand friends, right?
She has 6 million.
Oh my God. Okay, and what's the deal like with you kids? Like somebody said that kids don't watch TV anymore. They do TV computer stuff, like TV on the computer.
Oh, mother.
No, Tyler, I'm serious.
Okay, so yes, that's a thing.
Okay, and that watching TV, like what I have, the big box at home, you know.
The television.
You know what? You're just, listen.
Oh, jeez.
I'll take you over my knee.
You can't reach.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Bye, Mama.
What makes me different than other mediums is that I have absolutely no idea who I'm reading beforehand, and I insist not to know any information about my client before I read them. I just show up, and the reading goes in wherever it's gonna go.
Tyler.
Tyler, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Terrell.
Oh, great to meet you, Terrell.
My name is Terrell Owens, former NFL wide receiver. I played in the National Football League for 15 years. If Tyler is a sports fan, that's probably where he would notice me from.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm excited. So I walk up to the door, and I didn't initially recognize who answered it. And then I realized it's Terrell Owens, who I was really surprised was sitting in front of me. I like to just explain basically what I go through in a reading and just kind of how it works. I just work as a clairvoyant, so I see information. As I kind of go through this process, I have this notepad and a pen, and all I do is I just scribble. And as I do this, I'll kind of pick up on stuff, okay?
Okay.
All right, well, we'll see what we do. We'll see what I'm able to connect with.
Tyler, you have your work cut out for you. There's a lot of skepticism with some things like this, so you just can't open your heart to any and everybody.
Let's see what we can do. Okay. That's like I just got hit by a ton, so
I know, your meter reading is probably doing like this. I told you.
No worries. Okay, we have a grandmother figure that's coming through really, really strongly. One, do you know of any family members on mom's side who suffered a stroke?
My grandmother.
Okay, so that's where we'd see that connection.
She was very influential in who I am today, and I think, you know, part of who I was on the football field was really adhering to what my grandmother taught me, and for him to really kind of feel that connection, that, you know, he was onto something.
She's making a connection to 3 boys, and they're 3 boys to her, who on some level took the role of like trying to help raise a child or like be there for a young person as they're growing up. So who would the 3 boys be?
I mean, I would say myself, her son, and then I have a brother.
Okay.
A brother, so.
Right, so that would be the 3. I'm saying the geographical distance with this very, very clearly. So where did she actually physically pass away?
Alabama.
Alabama. So where were you at the time?
California.
Okay.
Prior to her passing, you know, I had talked to my mom about her condition, and as it progressively got worse. So I went to go see her, then I left and came back out here, and then she passed. So she really wasn't conscious or talking or any of that when I did see her. So that was my lasting impression and, my lasting memories of her.
When she comes through, she comes with a lot of energy. For her, she's acknowledging that there was discussions about her living situation before she died.
And once she had the stroke, obviously her health obviously deteriorated to the point that she couldn't take care of herself, and then obviously it progressively got worse. And it came to a point of, what do we do now?
Sure.
What are those next steps?
Right.
And my mom and my sister pretty much were the caregivers, but I got an update through my mom as far as her condition as it started to deteriorate.
There was an emphasis on it's fine as it was. I understand the reasoning behind it, but she didn't want to be the type to just go and, have people take care of her. She was pretty insistent that she was gonna do her own thing. She wasn't upset about that. She acknowledges that she's aware that happened. And then she also acknowledges that she's not upset about the respirator because she had said that this is not something she wanted to have to survive off of.
I know in talking to my mom,
yeah,
I don't think she particularly liked that. Mm-hmm. Being that she didn't want her to suffer. And so, it's that hard question for you to have to decide the fate of your loved one's life.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And when she comes through, it's interesting because she put such a heavy emphasis on wanting to stay independent. She's the kind of person where in the event that we were ever going to be okay, we got to take your license away, it's no.
Right. She was put in an assisted living home, and then, obviously she didn't walk as much, and then, again, she was confined to a wheelchair. Things of that nature.
For her, it was more important that she stay independent than anything else.
Right.
And that was significant. If I don't have my freedom, I don't have anything. Because she would never slow down.
I couldn't have described it any better. That was her. She was no nonsense. As I said, she's very blunt, stern. That was her.
So now shifting gears, are there any other areas you'd like to focus on?
Yeah, I yearn for that love life, something that I didn't experience growing up. I definitely want to find some stability.
So let me think. 1 of 4. And then 1 sec.
Really not knowing how to be a boyfriend is something that I've kind of failed at. It's not something that I feel like I've had the best experience in, and a lot of that is really due largely to how I was raised, not having a dad in the household. So very, very interesting trying to ask a 19-year-old the direction of a love life of myself.
For whatever reason, the way this is coming across, there's reference to a woman with a J name.
With a J?
With a J name. And
J.
That's definitely going to keep in mind. That'll be over the course of the next year. For just any woman you meet, be like, what's her name? And if it's not a J, walk in the other direction.
Right, yeah.
But I love it.
That's interesting.
But keep your eyes peeled
J-Lo,
for them.
perhaps?
J-Lo, perhaps. I know Jennifer Lopez. Can we? Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. Jesus. That's the only J I probably need in my life right now is Jesus. But J-Lo was the first thing that came to mind. But hey, you never know.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah,
I
man,
really appreciate it.
Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
Appreciate you. How he described my grandmother, that was kind of how she was. She kind of said what she had to say. But yeah, I mean, he pretty much kind of described her to a T. And I think to be intuitive and kind of connect, you're kind of in awe. I'm a believer.